Hey, y'all, Pastor James here with the next installment of our daily Bible study on the book of Genesis. Today we're going to dive into chapter 19. Now, chapter 19 presents the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, cities known for their great wickedness and the dramatic rescue of Lot and his family. This chapter reveals God's righteous judgment, his mercy toward the righteous, and the sobering consequences of moral compromise and disobedience. Now let's dive into the biblical text. Now the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground, and he said, "Hear now, my lords, please turn into your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet. Then you may rise early and go on your way." And they said, "No, but we will spend the night in the open square." But he insisted strongly, so they turned into him and entered his house. Then he made them a feast and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. Now before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every quarter surrounded the house. And they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may know them carnally." So Lot went out to them through the doorway, shut the door behind him, and said, "Please, my brethren, do not do so wickedly. See now, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish. Only do nothing to these men, since this is the reason they have come under the shadow of my roof." And they said, "Stand back." Then they said, "This one came in to stay here, and he keeps acting as a judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them." So they pressed hard against the man Lot and came near to break down the door. But the men reached out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And they struck the men who were at the doorway of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they became weary trying to find the door. Then the men said to Lot, "Have you anyone else here? Son-in-law, your sons, your daughters, and whomever you have in the city, take them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the outcry against them has grown great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who had married his daughters and said, "Get up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city." But to his sons-in-law he seemed to be joking. When the morning dawned, the angels urged Lot to hurry, saying, "Arise, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you be consumed in the punishment of the city." And while he lingered, the men took hold of his hand, his wife's hand, and the hands of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out and set him outside the city. So it came to pass when they had brought them outside that he said, "Escape for your life. Do not look behind you nor stay anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be destroyed." Then Lot said to them, "Please, no, my lords. Indeed, now your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have increased your mercy which you have shown me by saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil overtake me and I die. See now, this city is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Please let me escape there. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live." And he said to them, "See, I have favored you concerning this thing also, in that I will not overthrow this city for which you have spoken. Hurry, escape there, for I cannot do anything until you arrive there." Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun had risen upon the earth when Lot entered Zoar. Then the Lord rained brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. So he overthrew those cities, all the plain, all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. But his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord. Then he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain. And he saw, and behold, the smoke of the land which went up like the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had dwelt. Then Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountains, and his 2 daughters were with him. For he was afraid to dwell in Zoar, and he and his 2 daughters dwelt in a cave. Now the firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man on the earth to come into us, as is the custom of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. It happened on the next day that the firstborn said to the younger, Indeed, I lay with my father last night. Let us make him drink wine tonight also, and you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father. Then they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab, and he is the father of the Moabites to this day. And the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ami. He is the father of the people of Ammon to this day. So, an amazing story. God rains fire and brimstone down on the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, destroys the cities, destroys the plains, everything in the area completely. When Lot looks back the next morning after it's all done, all he sees is smoke and blackness. So we have several key themes in this lesson. The first one being that angels visit Sodom. Two angels arrive in Sodom and are met by Lot, who insists they stay at his house. Lot's hospitality contrasts with the city's depravity, mirroring Abraham's actions in Genesis 18 when he invites the three strangers to stay with him. The second key theme is Sodom's wickedness exposed. The men of Sodom surround Lot's house, demanding to assault the angelic visitors. This violent response confirms the city's moral corruption and justifies God's judgment. The third key theme is Lot's moral compromise. Lot offers his daughters to the mob in an attempt to protect his guests, an action revealing flawed judgment shaped by living in a corrupt environment. Though he tries to do good, his compromised values reflect how living among wickedness can dull discernment. Our fourth key theme is judgment declared. The angels reveal their mission to destroy the city because of its great wickedness. Lot is urged to gather his family and flee immediately. Our fifth key theme is reluctance and mercy. Lot hesitates, and the angels physically lead him, his wife, and two daughters out of the city. God's mercy is clear. He spares Lot not because of merit, but out of compassion and covenant remembrance. Our sixth key theme is destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire and sulfur rain down from heaven, destroying the cities and everything within them. This serves as a vivid picture of divine judgment and a warning against unrepentant sin. Our seventh key theme is that Lot's wife looks back. Despite the warning from the angels, Lot's wife looks back and becomes a pillar of salt. Her fate underscores the danger of longing for a sinful past and the importance of wholehearted obedience. Our eighth key theme is Lot's legacy. Lot flees to a cave with his daughters who, believing that they are the last humans, get him drunk and bear children through him. Their sons, Moab and Ben-Ami, become the ancestors of the Moabites and the Ammonites, nations often at odds with Israel. And then our ninth key theme is the consequences of compromise. The chapter ends with the disturbing consequences of Lot's choices. His proximity to Sodom, passivity, and moral inconsistency result in family dysfunction and lasting repercussions. Now, I've spoken before in several previous chapters about the fact that history is true. Everything in the Bible is true. We know that. And science, as well as they might try to prove the Bible to not be true, they try to go with theories rather than fact. But also, anthropologists have many times found things that they were not expecting that actually proved the Bible to be true. Two things specifically in this particular chapter. The first one being Sodom and Gomorrah. In the valleys where these two cities used to be, scientists, archaeologists have found pieces of what they're calling brimstone, large pieces of sulfury rock that did not come from this earth. It is not from earth at all. It had to have come from somewhere else. That proves this part of the story, that Sodom and Gomorrah were in fact rained upon by fire and brimstone coming down from the heavens. And then the second thing is that on the hill outside the city of Sodom, where Lot's wife turned around and looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Scientists have actually found a large human-sized pillar of salt, more or less in the shape of a human woman, to prove that this in fact did happen. The proof, even today, is still there. So as crazy as this whole story may sound, there is in fact proof that proves that Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by God, and that Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt when she looked back after being told by the angels not to do so. As crazy as it sounds, the proof is there. So I hope you like this chapter. A lot in it. A lot happened in this chapter with the destruction of the cities and what happens with Lot and his daughters afterwards. It's a good chapter, great Bible story, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Continue to tune in to the next few chapters. We've got a long way to go in Genesis yet, a lot of human history to look at. Until then, take care of yourself, and God bless you.